If it is a watcher you see.
She's accurate so far.
Why have you come to me, godlike? Help? No. I can open your eyes, but you must learn to see. Let's have a look at you then. You who came to these shores on a royal errand. You who have died and returned. To open the door to your soul, we must first open a door to your mind. Now repeat after me. I stand on the shore between here and beyond. Very good. Spoken with conviction. I dip my toe into bottomless depths. The lake is a mirror. The mirror is a door. And the door stands open.
A door? A garden gate?
Impossible. Someone is here with us? How? Who are you? What are you? Show me what you are.
A hand knocks on our bark. Do we answer? How can they see?
What is this I hear? Old and forgotten. Echoes of echoes. An uninvited passenger?
Now she's hearing voices. Great. Is that gonna cost us extra or something?
Curious. Something clings to your soul, felt but unseen.
Voices, echoes in the placid lake. Shelter the seed from winter. Who reaches for our bars? Who speaks?
Enough! I have seen into your soul, and hereby close that which was open. The door is shut, the reading finished. Well, that was truly unexpected. I am pleased to report I made contact with your soul, and then with something I cannot name. First, the good news. Not only is your soul healthy, it is strong, powerful. Strange for one who so recently died. Death leaves a scar, but you are unmarked. Instead of passing through the beyond, your soul was nurtured, protected, caged.
Soft. The shell cushions the egg.
You only live because someone would not permit you to die. But I wonder, who? Of that, I am unsure. You might find that you suddenly have new abilities that manifest in battle, for instance. Or you may feel a spiritual connection to ancient places, like memories not your own. But that does not explain who pulled you from the grasp of death. Who would do such a thing? There are limits to my sight, Envoy. It has been years since I met a godlike. Their souls have a sonorous quality, like the music of a bell. A godlike soul sings together with the god that has claimed them, made them their own. It gives them power. Your soul, it has no chime. In its place, a thorn jabs at your essence, working its way to the surface. I told you the good news. Now comes the bad, or the unusual. When you came into this life, a thorn pierced the fabric of your soul, and your soul grew around it, trapping and embracing the invader. A godlike's chime is a gift, a blessing. But a godlike's thorn? That may be a curse. I cannot say. The gods must answer for their actions. We know that a god touched you at birth, but which one and why? They always signed their work, and none of them lay claim to you. Disturbing. Terrible. There are so few godlike remaining, and you are a stranger even among your own kind. Better luck in your next life. I wish I could tell you that everything will work out in your favor, but the wheel turns by a merciless hand. One word of advice. When you find a pillar of Adra, commune with it. Adra has a strong link to the beyond. Adra holds the path between this life and the next, a conduit for souls all around Aora. Through Adra, a soul may find its way back to the wheel to be born again. But the Adra here, in the living lands, is different, insular. It connects only to itself. Twisting vines, essence warping into essence. Your questions are of a spiritual nature, and they seek a spiritual answer. When you find Adra, Adra may pave your road to the truth, or it before we close. As you understand the word, yes. You fell into death, and a guiding hand lifted you back onto your feet.
That guiding hand, whatever it is, must be what brought you back to life at Liviana.
Your soul is healthy, but it is also a mystery beyond my sight. Marius, I see terrible pain, and the strength of will it takes to conceal it. I see jagged, self-inflicted scars.
Right. I could see that too if I don't get out of here soon.
Kai, your soul is heavy, burdened, yet something is missing. Something not easily replaced.
Hey, we don't need to make this all about me.
For us both, I assure you.
Glad someone got something out of this.
Safe travels, godlike, and thank you for the glimpse at your wonderful soul. I will pray that your next turning of the wheel is uneventful. Until then, you are bound to live a rich and complicated life.
Did you get any of that? That just sounded like a hot breeze to me.
This kind of thing makes my skin prickle. Let's get out of here.
Trouble me no more.
Tell me you brought good... Oh, Envoy, you return. And you brought a friend. Ambassador Heelguard, at your service.
Always nice to meet an Adiran who isn't trying to goad me into a fight.
What of these rebels? The streets are full of rumors, but your word is the only one I trust. So, you took justice into your own hands. That takes grit. More than I expected. Of course, the official record will show that the killer struck first, and you were merely acting in self-defense.
That's technically what happened, so sure.
I know that Ludwig wanted a public execution, but this might do just as well to appease her. A message has been sent. No one will challenge our presence in the living lands. Our people are here to stay. Ever the mercenary. This will have to do. Now that Ludwig isn't getting her execution, we need to spend a little more on securing the city. Now the Emperor wants you to investigate the Dream Scourge, and I have no wish to delay you any further. I'm sending you to Fior-Messi-Verno, a community of Valian expatriates deep in Emerald Stair. The Animancers may have some knowledge of the Dream Scourge already. Learn whatever you can from them. Animancers draw power from the spirit world. Their dark research can twist, break, even corrupt the very soul. The Empire has no tolerance for Animancers, and with good reason. Their work is dangerous, heretical. Animancers tinker on souls using clever inventions and ancient pillars of Ardra, siphoning essence like honey from a hive. They want to change reality as we know it. Make us live longer, or cause barren lands to grow. For all I know, they might be onto something. Or, with a single miscalculation, they might destroy us all. Well, you know what they say about the enemy of my enemy? Animancers may be unpredictable. Make no mistake, the Empire's at war. You're right to be curious. After all, animancy is the study of existence itself. Just don't get too curious. It won't reflect well on you in the Empire. If you have any further questions before I dispatch you to... My sources tell me the Dream Scourge is a plague of the soul, and souls are their trade. If we have anything in common with Animancers, it's a shared interest in curing the Dream Scourge. Answers? Nothing more. We need all the help we can get. I believe that Governor Vidaro will be your first point of contact. I'm told he's barely... Good hu-
Hilgard. Why is it that whenever I hear your name, it's because you've disgraced the Empire?
No, strangling light. Keep her away.
Ooh, that doesn't sound good.
Inquisitor Ludwig. So kind of you to join us.
While you brood over the Dream Scourge, this island is coming apart at the seams.
Stay your wrath. Allow me to present the Adiran envoy, dispatched by the Emperor himself, to aid us in our time of need.
At least someone knows the meaning of respect.
Under the circumstances, I thought it might be...
Silence! You busy yourself with the Dream Scourge. A mere fever and chills, leaving the real work to me. He needs to listen for a change. I have scoured this island and faced the truths from which you cower. The living lands is on the brink of total collapse, and you have ignored the discontent in your own city.
You don't waste time, do you?
We should be using this opportunity, not squandering it. What say? I've been saying this all along, but his solution was to go over my head, to summon help from across the known.
If you're done eviscerating me, you'll be interested to learn I'm sending the envoy to the Animancers of Emerald Stair.
You are ridiculous. Emerald Stair is under assault by the very wilderness it claims to have conquered. The Animancers cling to pride and tradition even as they dig their own grave. That might do us some good, or it might lead you nowhere. I can't take the chance. Clearly, I've wasted my time with you, Ambassador. From now on, I will break the frontier on my own terms. You are free to disagree with my methods, but you cannot stop me. As for you, Envoy, farewell.
That's the priestess. She had no idea what she was getting into.
She is going to be a problem. She'll mount your head on one of those points if you aren't careful. Put her out of your mind. The Dream Scourge is more than enough for us to chew on. At least for now. Oh, before I forget, Liviana gave you a clean bill of health. You're cleared to leave for Emerald Stair. Fair warning, Animancers and Adirians don't... At least you'll have that in common, if nothing else.
They're a fun bunch. Crazy, but fun.
Wonderful. Now I have to keep a tight grip on my soul on top of everything else.
Should you cross paths with Ludwig? Well, try not to. I have no idea what's gotten into her. Safe travels. I'm told Emerald Stair's beautiful this time of year. I trust you're still holding together? The courtesan? Interesting. I had my theories about a certain shipment of herbs. Let us also say that I know why and how these herbs are being used. And I assume you figured it out as well. Do you object? Shrewd thinking, Envoy. Maybe you should be ambassador. So be it. I can't openly support Juliana's establishment, but I will pass along what funding I can. A rounding error in our books. Feel free to let her know the good news, but do try to keep my name out of it. How can I avoid it, if I may be blunt? A corpse hanging outside my office symbolizes everything I hate about the Steel Garrote. While I forge alliances, build trust, and solidify our place on this island, they're butchering people in our name. At least Inquisitor
Envoy, how can I help? Inquisitor Ludwig is the commander of the Steel Garrote in Paradise. Were you to ask her, she'd say she keeps the peace. But she doesn't keep it so much as prosecute it. As ruthlessly as the ambassador will let her. She's also a veteran of the Steel Garrote's campaign in the Deathfire, where she died.
Until recently, I assumed death meant you stopped living. Silly me.
I don't know what happened to her there, but I suppose Wodica wasn't done with her yet. Cryptic Neil! I remember him fondly. I took every upper-level course the university offered on memory and recall to circumvent the Walian glamour on him. And even then, it only barely worked. I had to look at him out of the corner of my eye and half cross them while thinking of something dreadfully boring like, grimoire repair. On the upside, it's made me an exceptional clerk. But that's neither here nor there. We were discussing Death Guard. Death Guards are surpassingly rare. Some of the secretaries who traveled with our dignitaries in the Deathfire spoke of one named Iser, a devotee of Berith, who guards the hanging sepulchres there. But I have heard of none others except those I've read about in the histories. They are people, most often paladins or priests, so devoted to a cause, that they simply refuse to pass on to the wheel when they die. Their soul haunts their body. The passion required to sustain them devours their flesh, and they swiftly turn to bone. I've never read a history nor tale of a death guard that did not end with them going quite mad. When they lose their capacity to care for anything but their cause, they cannot love. And when they cannot love, they cannot be merciful. And so everything before them becomes only an obstacle. I only met her once. She was a mid-level member of the Steel Garrote then, chasing oathbreakers who'd fled Adiran law. She'd come back to the Imperial Archives to borrow a map to a place called Oathbinder's Sanctum. I remember she was furious because the map was quite poor. She worried about finding the place, about properly executing her duty to her god. She wanted, I think, to do a good job. So, while clearly she has changed, in some sense, I'd say she's much the same. Think upon your promises and die. That's the litany of the Steel Garrote, usually said right before they kill you. They're an order of paladins born and bred in Adir, though clearly they've found plenty of work beyond our borders. Their remit is simple but comprehensive. They punish all who break their oaths. In practice, that has historically meant contracts. One lord or merchant will hire the Steel Garrote to bring a duplicitous rival to justice.
People in Paradise might lie or cheat once in a while, but this seems like overkill.
Since the events in the Deadfire, their operations have expanded. The Steel Garrote has always been associated with Wodaka. Now, they are explicitly her order. The Living Lands are a dangerous, lawless front, or so the... Do you think so? Safe...
Stands above the judgment of the queen that was, nor the arbiters of her justice. When Wodaka takes back her throne, all transgressions and injustices will come to light. None will be spared their due retribution. Look now, the fate.
I'm glad those Sparrowhawks are gone, but I'm not sure these Adiran guards that showed up are any better.
Trading one set of bullies for another. At least they took down those garish banners.
Tell me about it. Very true. They really clashed with the home district. All that awful graffiti was bad too.
Hail, Envoy! Is there anything I can help you with? No need to worry about them. We just rooted the last of them out of the district today. Paradise should be a lot safer without the likes of them around. Will that be all? Understood. No? Should I have been? That's an unconventional order, but it's no skin off my nose. Will that be... Understood.
Sorry, Envoy. No heroes discount. Looking still free, though.
There's a face I'd never...
You're new around here, aren't you?
Charmed, I'm sure.
Hey, Envoy. Nice weather for waiting around, huh? I can't believe he told you he'd never touched a girl. I'd rather have died. Which...
If I didn't know better, I'd think Lion Soul... Don't be a stranger.
I wish that painter would come by more often.
You feeling okay? Seems like you've been having some odd dreams.
Then I've got... You've heard everything I have.
Check your bedroll for fang worms.
Fior Messiverno, huh? Guess if you're looking for an animancer, that's the place to go. I don't know about all that. They decided to settle in a hostile forest and use animancy to conquer it. We might get there and find that these people aren't as ready and willing to help you as you hope they... Yeah, looking forward to dragging you people through Emerald Stair, on the distant chance Fior will be feeling generous with their time. I've led a few people there from Paradise or Thirdborn, and I've almost lost someone on every trip.
Someone's slipping.
I said, almost. Just glad I can help. Right, changing the... Ask what? Well, I'm one of the very few people who spends most of their time out in the wilds and haven't gotten themselves killed yet. I know the difference between hay-bleed toxin and high-tox bloom, which is something you should be really thankful for. And you know the Ballarok and the Grinning Ballarok? No, but I am one of the few who have seen a Ballarok and lived. Mostly because I had the brains to run the Dragu out of there. The key is survival. I understand that, and a lot of people don't. And that's why they're dead, and I'm still here. We're gonna get you where you're going, Envoy. Alive and with as few blithe tail bites as possible. That, more or less, is all you need to know about me. Same one you are. What kind of blessed question is that? Oh, huh. I see. I sometimes use Lember without really thinking about it. That's what you mean, right? I barely realize I'm doing it anymore. If you want to learn Lember, you'll have to spend time in Solace. And that's... right. Something like that. I'm sure you'll pick it up as we travel. It's not that blessed difficult. Yes, I did. Thank you. Not everyone accepts that some things are best left in the past. Right. I'd just tell you... What is there to know? Isolated keep full of Pargrunan wardens who patrol Galawain's tusks and argue about history. I left there 2 years ago and haven't thought much about it since. I doubt you'll ever have to go there anyway. I appreciate that. When I was a child in Solace, a warden named Alinka taught me the basics. What berries to eat, how to build a shelter, and so on. Later, I started going out on patrols, just to get experience in the wilds. By the time I was 15, I was going out on my own. I was usually part of a small patrol, maybe 4 wardens. We'd travel the roads in Galawain's tusks, and I was in charge of camp. We'd make sure the Zarps weren't getting restless, the roads were clear of bandits, and the lava flows weren't flooding. Turns out I was just good at surviving on my own. So I kept doing it, and I kept getting better at it. Well, good. Maybe show your appreciation by making sure Kai hangs his wet socks away from my tent. Anyway, what do you... Pleasant dreams.
The armored mask. We dream of steel and charred earth and flame. The memory binds. Flee from her. We fear. For us. For you. Blazing ire. It burns and feeds upon itself. Pain through the smoke. We recall. You are not safe with her. Did the deer anger the blaze? Did the brush? Did the soil? It consumes skin, heart. She hurt us. We only remember pain. The canopy stretches over the sprout to keep it safe. Steer clear of the scourging fire, or extinguish it. No recourse but teeth. The flame spreads toward the garden wall.
Poor guy. Didn't even stand a chance.
Looks like there's a note.
Whatever's grown over that Audra doesn't look natural. Ready, aim.
Coming in hot.
Something happened here. Birth. Voices. Arms building a wall. The ruins sleep in the field now. The only proof they lived. How do we leave our mark upon the river of memory? Planting seeds. The body dies, but ideals persist. Your clarity of vision soothes us.
So the Strangle Road. Envoy, you gotta tell me your secret.
The Envoy blacked out for a moment, and now the Audra has flowers on it. Does that about sum it up?
Envoy. Ironic. No. Paradis clearly understands your intent.
Careful, he could be a messenger. Or this could get interesting.
We wait in places you will never think to look. My compatriots have observed your judgment. We have a message for you. We do not give second...
I don't know what this thing is, but it's giving off power like you wouldn't believe. Another fragment in. This thing's just getting warmed up. Right. Good talk.
It's nice to take a break from this. Enjoy the ocean breeze while we're here.
One moment.
Never thought I'd miss the barracks in the city.
Hail, friend. Always nice to see a fellow traveler out here. Where are you headed? Truly? Then we're heading the same way. Though Emerald Stair is not my ultimate goal. One of my ancestors apparently grew up in Solace Keep, deep in the Living Lands. I hope to find this place. It's my ancestral home. Sure, I may have grown up in Stalwart, but I'm Pagroon through and through, just like the dwarves here in the Living Lands.
If your ancestors left Solace, it isn't your ancestral home anymore.
Some things never change. Whether I'm here or back in Stalwart, it's always the Pagroonen that make me question this journey. Fair question. Not something you'd expect someone all the way in the White March to hear about, hmm? After my grandmother was taken by the Usher, I found her mother's writings, centuries old. They talked about a home her family left when she was just a child, and from that moment, I knew I had to return.
moment. They tell me you're going to Emerald Stair. Business or pleasure? Well, just remember to cover your mouth, sneeze into your elbow, and sleep with lavender under your pillow. Fair warning, Envoy. Before you showed up, Inquisitor Ludwig barged past me. She was looking none too pleased. Don't thank me. In fact, keep my name away from Ludwig's ears. Better if she doesn't know I exist. Anyway, I thought you should know Ludwig's on the prowl. Tread lightly.
As long as she's not on our scent. Hopefully, your handling of Egwolf brought us some grace with her.
You're cleared to pass, Envoy. The Living Lands, good luck out there. You're gonna need it.
Can't say I'm sad to be leaving Paradise. I had no idea how tense things were with the Adirans moving in.
And Egwolf's death won't help matters.
Either way, you're safer with him gone.
Regardless, the Steel Garrote will see this as an excuse to crack down. I get the feeling they've been looking for one.
Steel Garrote? I figured they're just more intense Adiran soldiers.
They're certainly making their presence known. Can't say they're making any friends, though.
I don't like that Ludwig woman. She gives me the vreekas.
Yeah, I've seen floggings gentler than the scolding she gave Hilgard. One's tacking when the other's jibing, if you catch my drift. Taking in the slack is one thing. They look ready to strangle each other with it.
And it's a good thing we're getting out of the city.
Yeah. Much as Liviana misses our company, I wouldn't count on your mysterious friend reviving you a second time.
Are you listening to that friend when you go all blank-eyed from time to time? Does your special friend talk to you? I mean, I had an imaginary friend when I was little, but they never brought me back from the dead.
He means that with all due professional respect, of course.
Unless they have their own use for you. That's what's giving me the shakes.
We're headed to Fior Messi Verno to see if the Animancer... Maybe we'll learn something about...
Right, when it comes time...
Just mind how close you get. Their experiments don't always go as planned.
They can stand around and have scholarly debates about souls all they want. Gives me a great opportunity to take a nap.
I haven't been back in a while, but Fior is, an interesting place. It was founded about 50 years ago by a disgraced Valian duke and a handful of animancers who'd soured on politics in the republics.
Town full of nobles, scholars, and leeches. All surviving off the work of the farmers who grow food for the whole island. Right. You know, present company excluded. And, oh.
Don't take it personally. Marius only does this with people he likes.
I'd say something back at you, but I'm just not feeling it for some reason.
See what I mean? It turns out that academics are as ungovernable as the rest of us rabble.
You don't understand what they're messing with. They can't tame the wilds with machinery.
They've held it at bay, until recently. Their ingenuity, or madness, or heresy, take your pick, has fed a lot of people in the Living Lands. But, rumor has it, some unnatural blight is destroying their crop. We'll find out soon enough. And while we're in Emerald Stair, there's something I've been putting off. An old friend from my time in Thirdborn had a cabin out in the woods, Tama. He passed a while ago, but he left something for me that I never got around to picking up. But since we'll be in Emerald Stair anyway... You won't regret it. Emerald Stair's lovely this time of year. Even the Delimgon bloom.
No matter what I tell you, you keep picking flowers from things that want to kill you.
Hey, they love me. You just gotta ask nicely. Compliment their foliage.
Right. Maybe buy them a drink before they choke you to death with vines. Well, you came to the right place.
You and I have quite the adventure ahead of us, Envoy.
Our deal was I'd help you find your assassin. I did that. I figured you'd probably travel faster with fewer people anyway. I have, you know, things to do back in Paradise. It keeps me plenty busy.
Come to think of it, I haven't been to Emerald Stair in a while, and the Envoy's never been. Know any good guides we could hire?
None that could help the two of you. You need the best guide in the lands to keep you from getting yourselves killed.
Yeah. Who else is going to show us which mushrooms we can eat and which ones want to eat us?
Now that you mention it, you're gonna need my help if you're traveling through the lands with this Nimdut. I have 2 rules. No campfire songs and no hugs. That last one's non-negotiable.
I hear wiggle room on the singing.
If we're done being ridiculous, we should get some rest. We'll be in Emerald Stair tomorrow.
Good to have you with us, Marius.
Right. Go to bed before you violate the hugging rule. Envoy? Right. Changing this up. I'd just tell... Until next time.
Not a whole lot, and I've been happy keeping it that way. Playing around with essence, poking at souls, trying to move them out of and into places they shouldn't be. Oh, it makes me queasy. Though, if we're going to understand the Dream Scourge and your godlike lineage, I suppose we'll have to get comfortable with it. Still, I'm happy to leave those pursuits to other people.
Exactly. Other people. People who are a safe distance away.
Not the same way adherents do. We've got no laws against it. I've just always felt more comfortable with things I can see and grasp for myself. Don't get me wrong. Most animancers are nice enough people. But even nice people get strange ideas from time to time. Nudge me if you hear anything in the woods.
If we're going to Fior, best to keep moving.
Oh, would you be a dear and help with these stories? Please?
Looks like she could use our help.
Beyond sync! Don't get too comfortable. More on the way. Fantastic. People. I was about to lose my wits.
A mind's question. The dust of the Akita in her hair. She knocks. We would answer.
You wouldn't happen to have a ladder on hand, would you? Don't take that tone with me, darling. There's a beautiful vase right in those ruins that I cannot reach. And as sharp as my wits are, they're a poor substitute for a ladder. But perhaps we don't need one. You're tall, striking, and well-toned. Do they really? I wonder what other advantages godlikes come with. Maybe the 3 of you have experimented?
I'll try anything twice.
It's more of an animancy thing, isn't it?
You make lovemaking sound like Hector Brewer discussing tea. Flaccid. In any event, I already have a lover. He always carries a ladder. But sadly, he's busy helping the Animancers in Fjord, and I need this vase now. Oh, you will? My. You're a looker and a doer. The vase sits atop that tower beside us, in the ruins there. And once you've got it, look me up. Yatsley, wizard extraordinaire, godless expert, and a Ballara.
You do meet the most interesting people.
I can get you 1,000 faces that don't require going into some ancient ruins, but no one listens to me. One moment.
Unseen, unheard.
Show me what you got! On your right!
He sucks up!
I was just getting warmed up. One moment.
Darling, you are aware I can see you digging through my things, aren't you? Andra's titties, you found it! I tried using magic to get the face down, but alas. Thankfully you and your little friends came along and saved the day.
Excuse me. We're all bigger than you are, Nimdude.
I may be small, but my magic is not, I assure you. Of course I can. Are you a wizard as well? Remarkable. An Adiran godlike wizard. You're nearly as fascinating as this godless vase. But I'd best pack up. I want to get home. I've a new artifact to study. Thank you for your help, godlike. Even if you didn't have a ladder.
Well, that's something I hope never happens again.
I've got a few inches to spare if she changes her mind.
Of course I forgot a ladder. Wonderful.
Nice work. Never seen Emerald stair like this. It's usually so nice. One moment.
You told us that
people weren't
animals
hungry
would
enough.
save our crops, and now look, spoiled on the vine. The apes won't even touch them.
Animal?
It's a process. We're talking about a delicate metaphysical ecosystem.
Machines everywhere, and none of them are doing a lick of good.
Be patient and things will get better, I promise.
Oh, more of this stuff. Has anyone figured out how to get rid of it?
Oh, no, you don't! The weapon's not doing the job.
Yes, I explained all that. They still said no.
Guys, someone has to do something.
I don't know what to do. I just don't think they're gonna stop.
When did the Rangers start taking the Zarib side?
We have had some of the finest animantic farming equipment available until Zarops came and destroyed it. I spoke to the Rangers about it, but they say the Zarops aren't acting aggressive or killing anyone, so there isn't much they can do.
That's odd. Why would Zarops attack equipment and not just continue the raid?
Finally, someone with a little backbone.
The Zarops have made camp in the swamp to the northwest. I'd say be careful, but my guess is they won't attack you unless you give them a reason. Just go check it out, and let me know what you find. I'll let the Rangers know once the Zarops are no longer a threat. Gods go with...
Almost every Zarop I've ever met has tried to eat me before I could finish saying hello. I think if I walked into a Zarop camp and wasn't attacked immediately, I wonder if I was invisible or something. One moment.
Gods, what do I tell Sovia? What do I tell the children? It's not bad enough that their mother was a little earlier and you'd have beaten the other bandits to my crops. But I guess that's on you, isn't it? Ah, finally! Someone who cares about something other than themselves. When they ran away, I saw them following the river north. They're probably hiding up there, waiting to steal from someone else. You come back with my crops, and I'll give you whatever I can. You can't put a price on survival. There you are.
Well, keep going up the...
He was my commander and thirdborn, but he was more than that too. A mentor, friend. Tama helped me out when I first came to the Living Lands over a decade ago. I was still figuring myself out.
Was. This is you, having figured yourself out.
Hey, now I know I can't stomach rusk snout milk. As for what we'll find, I don't know any more than you. All I know is he said it was his most prized possession. And seeing as he was on his deathbed at the time, I wasn't of a mind to ask. Hey, we all go back to the wheel, right? Where to start? The man couldn't carry a tune, but it didn't stop him from trying. He'd have the whole tavern singing shanties with him nearly every night of the week. He had a vexing habit of saying the thing you most needed to hear when you were least ready to hear it. He'd give you the shirt off his back and the meat off his plate. But the selfish bastard left the rest of us a world without him in it. Hey, you're not the one who did the leaving. That's why I've got to put this to rest. You've heard everything I... Sure. Good. You know where to find me.
Envoy? Right. Changing the subject. Ask away. I haven't dealt with Delamgon and blights and such all that much. They usually don't bother you unless you step too far off the trail. Of course, that's pretty much a given in your line of work, so we're all doing things we're not used to doing. Still, if you have a choice between upsetting the forest and not doing that, think about it. Maybe consider that the forest and Emerald Stair are known to hold a grudge. Let's see. Less urgency for shelter here. You can find shrubs to block the wind or tree cover to protect from rain. There's also plenty of food around too, if you know where to look. Rule of thumb, if it's red, don't eat it. Or if it makes you itch. There's also just about any kind of game you can imagine. Just make sure whatever you catch doesn't have mushrooms growing out of its face. Oh. Right. If I must.
I really don't think you can deny that everything wrong in Fior obviously comes from using animancy.
We don't use animancy on our farms in Dawnshore. Our forests aren't trying to kill us.
I don't know what you want from me. The other Animancers and I are just doing the best we can to survive.
Fior will be better able to survive if they accept help from the Adherents.
The Adherents have already made great strides in bringing order to Paradis.
I just want to go home without being harassed.
They're not bad people.
A farm...
Do you think they'd notice if I just...
You showed up at a bad time. Word of advice, give a wide berth to the governor's manor. Giatta's about to tear that poor man a new one. Well, I hope you have a stomach for profanity.
Huh. A woman shouting profanity at leadership? Reminds me of home.
She came storming up the hill with a wheelbarrow full of spoiled crops. Then the shouting started.
Animancers fighting? This I have to see.
This isn't the first time Giatta's put the governor in his place, but it might be the last. Look around. The town's overgrown, the crops are dying. What's not to fight about?
Just take a blessed day look outside. Doesn't take a genius to see this place is rolling downhill.
The governor's manor is on the far side of town. You can't miss it. Just follow the sound of foul language.
Looking forward to seeing what it looks like when Animancers fight.
Ah, the Emperor's envoy. Inquisitor Ludwig said you might be heading this way. Captain Alfair of the Steel Garrote. If you're here to speak with Vidaro, I'm afraid you'll find the governor is quite beyond reason. These Valians and their love of animancy. While they theorize and do nothing, the sickness spreads. But worry not, envoy. The Steel Garrote will be ready to ensure the safety of Adheran interests when the time comes. We all have our part to play, envoy, until late.
Does subtle mean something different outside of Solace?
Prices seem a bit steep. They do such lovely work here, don't they?
Hang on. I know you from Solace, right?
I'm afraid I don't know who you are. Just as you don't know who I am.
You're Blessed A Man. I remember you. I got you.
So, we understand each other then. Yeah, I suppose it's a bit unusual to see one of my people about. But I'm here on important business. If you see anyone else from Sole's Keep, just do me a favor and don't tell them you saw me. Thank you. I wouldn't want my fellow wardens to misunderstand.
But we still don't even know why you're here.
You know what I mean. And Marius, it was good to see you. May you find all you're looking for. What I'm doing is best for the Pargrunen. Even if it's important, please be discreet. Sole's Keep wouldn't understand.
Genuine healing crystals, purest in all of Eora. Rejuvenate and revitalize you. Think you're healthy? Think again. Clean yourself out with a healing crystal.
at all godlike. I've heard whispers that one of your kind was here in the living lands. It is a pleasure to meet you. In case it wasn't clear, I'm the point of contact for anyone with bounties to turn in. Officially, I'm one of the many researchers here. My specialty is in the anatomy of the many species of Eora. If you must know, Vulpinet, these bounties are more pressing than my research. Someone had to be chosen to man the board. That person happens to be me. At least some of these bounties result in interesting specimens to study. Ahora, Togo?
Can I interest you in some glaive berries or bedded spells, perhaps? Welcome to Poria in Velino, the finest legitimate apothecary of Emerald Stair. 5 summers ago, business was thriving, but now charlatans are selling crystals and essence enlargers in the streets. Add rumors of Dreamscourge and everyone is buying from these swindlers. At least you've come in. Oh, I could, easily. But in the long run, where would that get me? I would be no better than them. I used to believe animancers would trust science, but I'm beginning to doubt that. At least I don't have to convince you. All ingredients are fully stocked.
Please, don't tell anyone you saw me.
Oh, you startled me. This old woman can get lost in prayer from time to time. You must be the Adiran envoy I've been hearing about. Apologies for any hardships you may have experienced getting here. The failing crops, the strange beasts, and even the dream scourge are all the result of our neglect of the dead. Oh, sure. I can't take the blame for all of Fjeor's problems, but my negligence has only made things worse. The dead of Fjord expect certain rituals to be carried out. I have failed to perform those rituals, and now the spirits are angry. That's exactly it! Well done! I have always observed it, and I brought it with me when I came to Fjord. Our recent dead require a final meal to ease their passage from life. Without it, they can't rejoin the cycle.
You've got people waiting in line for their next meal, and you want to waste food on the dead?
I got food from the grain merchant stores. I just need someone to leave it at the graves. The dead will take it from there.
Flesh and bone. They bring the fruit to those who cannot eat. What tree calls for its branches to endure these rituals?
I had to take the food. The fate of Fjord depends on it. I know Elena would understand how important it is to pay tribute to the dead. The ritual heals all. The spirits get one more taste of life, and the living get to offer one last gift to the dead. You must take these offerings of food
and place them at 3 grave sites where the recently dead lay. The first offering goes to a cliffside grave on the southern coast. The second offering goes to a grave in the swamp, far to the west from here. They buried the bodies of settlers there, intrepid sorts that tried to tame the farther reaches of Emerald Stairs wilds. The final offering should be taken to the truffle farm east of Fure, where a family lost their lives to the encroaching wild. I believe it will do exactly that. Be careful, friends. The angry spirits...
Next time you want to tour graveyards, I'm staying at camp. We should help the living and let the dead rest.
I can't thank you enough for helping to ease the conscience of an old lady. Please.
Wake up your soul with a morning crystal.
I only come back any...
Be careful with old Nuna. I have a theory that her longevity and hardiness are due to an inordinate suffusion of essence. Those poor souls. Please bring them peace, Saimiko. Becoming part of a blight is not a fate I would wish upon my worst enemy. Oh, the Trentons. A bunch of buttsoes, if you ask me. But they are dangerous, I'll admit. Watch yourself out there. Those Delamgan. They're not evil, it is just in their nature to push back against the expansion of civilization. Still, survival of the fittest and all that, eh?
I was never here. Understand?
Portable, reliable, and verifiable. Honest Emmy's healing crystals.
Giata, what's the meaning of this?
Look at these crops. Look at your city. The Dream Scourge is laying waste to our home.
There is no Dream Scourge in Emerald Stair.
The land begs to differ, and I can prove it.
We can discuss this in private.
We are discussing it now. How can you ignore what's right in front of you? The Dream Scourge is here, in the soil, and it's killing us. Oh my goodness. Are you a godlike? Charmed. Forgive me for staring. It's just, we don't see many of your kind anymore.
Maybe you can talk some sense into our governor. Put the fear of the gods in him.
Tempers are high, but I don't see any assassins. Yet.
Excuse me, but unless you have official business, I'll thank you not to involve yourself in our private discussion. Very well. I hope you remember that behind these walls, your influence has limits.
I'm sure he didn't come all this way just to challenge your authority. As you can see, I was just proving a point to our esteemed governor.
A cart full of spoiled vegetables. You call that a point?
Ha! Emerald Stair used to be a lush garden for miles around, and now I don't even recognize it. First came the invasive species, roots and mycelium growing overnight, as though nature itself had gone mad. The Dream Scourge has twisted our lands, our wildlife, and now, our farms. Then there's no time to waste arguing with bureaucrats.
We definitely agree on that.
I believe that we can restore the land, bring back its soul and its sanity, cut off the Dream Scourge at the root. Our governor would rather ignore the problem. He doesn't trust animancy as his father did.
They do. And that's the kind of reckless behavior I'm trying to avoid.
Reckless is all we have time for. Before we can deal with the Dream Scourge, we first need to understand it. Unfortunately, new experiments have to go through him.
Once again, bureaucracy stands in the way of getting things done.
I'm just trying to stop Chiata from hurting herself. Animancy is dangerous when you're shooting in the dark. Are you going to tell him about your family's basement? Or should I?
How dare you use that against me?
I know it was an accident, but look what it cost you. We can't let it happen again.
While we argue among ourselves, the Dream Scourge is tearing the living lands apart. Tearing our people apart. If I don't have your trust, I am determined to earn it. Well, Governor, looks like I'm taking some time away from my duties. I'll trouble you no more.
Your request is denied, Chiata.
I wasn't asking.
Your responsibilities are to the settlement. Turning away from them sets a precedent that I cannot allow.
Everything I have proposed has been for Fior, and you still refuse to cooperate. Under the circumstances, I don't have much of a choice.
Then neither do I. Chiata Castel, from this day forth, you are banished from Fior Messiverno.
Banished?
What?
Ignacy, we can't lose our brightest animancer in the middle of a crisis.
Your pupil has gone too far, Quilici. Take her and leave. You're still a guest in my town, but to us, Chiata is an outcast. Perhaps, but I can't just let her continue to poison the minds of my animancers.
They aren't your animancers. Your father understood that.
Don't bother, old man. He isn't his father. I've done all I can for Fior Messiverno. But you haven't even tried. Now limp back to your giant house like a good dog. We should talk somewhere private. Meet me at my house due west, by the workshop.
Another mouth to feed. Maybe we'll need to let Kai hunt more after all. One moment.
Come on. My invention is guaranteed to enlarge your essence. A moment of your time, my friend? Tell me, what do you know about your soul? Wrong. Your soul is an ancient, wondrous thing, suffused with lifetimes of rich, delicious memory. But it's tired, my friend, heavy with the burden of generations and too weak to survive another turning of the wheel. That's the beauty of it. The first treatments on the house. The moment you entered the city, I calibrated my invention to the highest setting and attuned it to your soul. So tell me, how do you feel? Better already, huh? Oh, I'm so glad to hear it. From this day forward, your life will be one of bliss and satisfaction. Do remember to tell your friends about all...
You have a thing for sticking your head in the bear's mouth, don't you?
Can I interest you in a demonstration? Don't listen to those charlatans in the workshop. The essence enlarger is 100% legitimate. Animancy. What's good for the soil is good.
One job, but I couldn't even do that.
But, well, I'll be a godlike in the bone and bore. Apologies for the ruckus outside. The Animancers never know when to shut their mouths. I might be more amused if it didn't happen so often. But that's Animancers for you. Except Giata and Quilici, that is. They are the only Animancers taking the Dream Scourge seriously. Try telling that to Vidaro and the Animancers. But the rest of us, we've all heard the rumors from outside. Animals gone mad, terror stalking the wilderness day and night. Birth's bells, of course. If Emerald Stair runs out of food, we are in dire straits anyway. We've had crops fail before, but never food rations. The governor says it's just a temporary precaution, but I am not buying it. So, we ought to drink? What are you fixing to... Because I don't go out of my way for them. Yeah, they're a finicky bunch. My clientele is more grounded. Works hard. They don't put on airs. I like to keep it that way. Of course. Welcome back, envoy.
Look out for her, Fidelio. How hard could that have been? If I could help myself, do you think I'd be in here? I don't mean that. I have a lot on my plate. My 2 youngest rangers were supposed to report back from their rounds. I assumed they'd turn up. But it's been 3 days now. They're still not here. Brasilia. Their names are Belena and Adalaro. I doubt they'll be apart. They were good rangers once. But since they've caught each other's eye, all they do is sneak off to... Oh, fine. Get right to it, then.
Well, there's worse places to make the four-legged beast. I promise you that.
New recruits running off with each other? Oh, man. This brings me back.
Anyway, I never thought I had any cause for concern. They always found their way back eventually, but they haven't this time. They're out there, all alone, and they could be in danger, and What they're doing is their business, but rangers have to come when they are called. Wait, gods, you're relentless. The point is, they've never been gone this long. The last time I saw them, I sent them to patrol the northern riverbed. If you go that way, please.
Two young Nimdutan wandering out by a river. Consider them found.
Maybe we don't look too soon. Give them a while. You know what I mean?
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment. Well, I was not expecting such an esteemed guest in my humble workshop. Are you in need of any weapons or armor? The roads haven't been safe as of late. Nay, not really. But not all of us in Fjord are animancers, you know. Besides humble craftsmen such as myself, we have the rangers to outfit. Under normal circumstances, I'd not sell to a traveler like yourself. But as I'm sure you've seen, these are not normal circumstances. Care to see what I have? Welcome back. Officially no, but I have been known to dabble with essence infusion here and there. I have one such item for sale, actually. A beautiful mace made of star metal, crafted by the finest smiths of Solace Keep and enchanted by yours truly. It is a wonder to behold. Care to see? Welcome to my fine establishment, amico.
One moment.
What do you mean that's all you've got? Last week you said there'd be grain.
I know what I said, but we only have so much to go around.
Are the animals starving as well, Or are they sipping tea?
Take it up with the governor. I don't make the rules. Go home. Lay traps in the woods and pray for game. I can't help you.
We know you're stashing the grain somewhere. Well, let's have it.
Ah, there's no stash, as I've told you before. If I had grain, I'd give it to you. I know, times are hard.
The crops are coming up wrong, miss. Flies won't even land on them.
It's bad all over. Trust me. Listen, if you need food, you're going to have to get in line like everyone else. I don't think there's anything that can be done. Honestly, my biggest issue... I just want the food at this point, but I'm pretty sure it's lost. The Rangers have taken on extra hunts as part of their patrols, which has helped some. The problem is that the things they bring back tend not to be edible, thanks to the blight. Rosanna? I couldn't have guessed that in a million years. I would normally let this sort of thing slide, but right now, every piece of food missing is a person who goes hungry. I empathize with Rosanna. I really do. My family shares those beliefs, and has for as long as I can remember. In this situation, though, I truly believe the living need the food more than the dead. Thank you. I know she took this for a reason, but let's feed the living first before worrying about the dead. I don't hold this against her. Rosanna truly has Fiore's best interests at heart, even if her priorities are out of order. Thank you for it.
The people needed this food more than the dead do. You made the right choice.
So many people going hungry.
Gatsabo! Did the cow step on your face?
You're the first godlike to come through in... well, I can't remember how long. I hope that's a good sign. I'll take what I can get. If the gods don't bless us with a harvest soon, this market will be empty come winter. What are you talking about? I thought the Dream Scourge was a myth. Outsider lies, that's what the governor says.
Strange that what the governor says is so different from what you see with your own eyes.
If you bring no good tidings, I'll thank you to be quick with your business. We've had enough misfortune of late.
see what's the problem.
If you can't see it, I doubt I can explain it to you.
Tell me another solution that would be half as efficient as that.
They just make me feel uncomfortable.
I'm glad to see revenants working in our fields. I see nothing wrong with it.
What if the body used to be your brother? Your grandfather? You, Adiran, you know what a revenant is, don't you? Your dead friends and family walking around rotting all over your cabbages? At least someone around here seems to have a semblance of common sense. I mean, it's creepy.
Is that all you got? No point in wasting bullets. One moment.
Seven in the past week. How am I supposed to live like this? Ah, Ado. You've caught me at an unfortunate time. You wouldn't happen to be an animancer? Gods, it's about time somebody like you came along. If I have to chase down one more revenant, I'll lose my mind. I don't know. They just disappear. I wish they would at least come back. Soon I won't have any left. People? People are used to the damned things wandering around. I'm the one who's panicking here. If Elia finds out, I have to have some standards, even at a time like this. You know, maybe there is some. I've caught them trying to shamble off to the nearby lake before. Revenants aren't very bright. That can't be a coincidence. I was hoping you'd say that. Just follow the trail of revenants. I'd look myself, but I don't trust the few subjects I have left. Oh, and if you find something, I want to see whether it leads the surviving revenants back. The only way to find out is to experiment.
This is one of the Living Land's main export hubs. Or, it used to be.
Ah, a new face. Welcome, welcome. There may not be much left, but feel free to take a look. I suppose that is fair, considering the sorry state of affairs here. Most of what is here is just scrap and forgotten things. It certainly does now, Besides, I pay a reasonable sum to Fjord for any sales I make. I'm not a parasite. Yes, I am profiting on the side, but surely this is better than everything here being wasted, hmm? You expect me to do such a thankless job for nothing? Utter nonsense. Now, do you wish to see my wares or not?
One moment.
Right behind you.
You're mine now. Here we go.
Beyond sync!
Glad that's over. One moment.
Is anybody there? Can anyone hear me?
This one's mine. Take it back. Let's see what you got. One moment.
Oh, finally a rescuer. I was beginning to lose my voice. I'm not dead yet. Just too tired to climb up. Oh, 1 minute. I'm engrossed in my research. The next thing I know, whoo, my workshop is in this damn pit. Absolutely not. Look at these ruins. I've been living on top of a death trap. Quilici warned Vidaro that the roots would swallow the soil. As usual, nobody listened to him. So, here we are. We've never had plants like these. I'm no botanist, but even I can tell that something's not right. Ah, nonsense! I can't go yet. My notes are down here somewhere. They contain priceless data on the wildlife around Fjord. They may not be ruined yet, but we'll have to work quickly. As soon as I dug them out, a gang of sporlings ran off with them. I can heave myself topside in time, but I'm in no shape to fight. If it makes you feel better, fine. They ran into the ruins. Now hurry. I can't have a sporling eating my life's work. For all I know, they could be halfway to Nakutadek by now.
Quiet, Mindut.
Beyond zinc!
Here it comes. One moment.
You're alive? I mean, you're back. Ah, did you find my note? Ah, yes, the cover's a little worse for wear, but the notes are intact. My findings on squirrel essence are going to change everything. What's not clear? I'm researching squirrel essence. I've nearly proved my theory, too. As everyone knows, squirrel brains grow and shrink in accordance with the nut season. So I thought, what if a squirrel's soul shrinks too? Huh? I propose that the size of our soul corresponds to our brain mass. If Vidaro's father hadn't built an Animancy refuge here, I'd still be there. I can't imagine any of my specimens are still intact, and I'll have to find somewhere to sleep. But I've got my notes. I can try again. Take this, but...
I thought we only got people like him in Paradise.
You take lead.
Take your pick. They come.
Beyond sync!
That's all of them.
One moment.
Finding out to spook you.
Another win, but who's counting? Something's not right here.
Here we go.
Something's not right here.
Beyond sync!
Coming from the right!
I owe you one. Everybody all right?
Right behind you.
Take your best shot.
Beyond sync!